Hi, my name is John Bruttle, and this is my submission video for the Sales Professional of the Year 2025. I am the General Manager at Pro Audio Pro 4x4. I am also the lead 12-volt salesperson. I am also learning to sell 4x4 and to help out on that side. I have been in the industry for almost 32 years at this point. I have been at Pro Audio Pro 4x4 for right at a year. I got into this industry because of my love of cars and music. When I was a little kid, my dad used to go to Heathkit stores and Radio Shack stores a lot, and I would go with him. And I can remember walking through a Radio Shack down the aisle as a young child. I don't remember how old I was, probably somewhere 8 to 10. They had speakers set up on each side of the aisle, but I walked right through the sweet spot and I was just stunned. So I kind of actually sat there and moved my head back and forth a little bit and realized just, how good music could sound. And cars and music just kind of go together. And so from a very young age, 16, 15, I was out in front of my dad's house, attempting to build an enclosure and, installing a radio for a friend in their truck. I was forever, once I got my license and I was driving and had a car, I was constantly trying to figure out how to get that sound that I heard in the Radio Shack in the vehicle. And I was constantly visiting local stereo shops, and one in particular, Automotive Designs in Woodbridge, Virginia. I frequented it quite a bit, always going in, just looking at the new gear, just super excited about stuff. And I went in and I was talking to the salesperson at the time, and he ended up wanting to come out and see what I'd done so far in my vehicle. And we go outside, we look at it, and next thing you know, I'm getting offered a job. I already had a full-time job, so he offered me a part-time job in the afternoons, and that's pretty much all she wrote. I was part-time for probably 6 months, I think, and then finally quit my full-time job and went full-time at the stereo shop. My greatest challenge over the past year is probably the same as it was last year around this time. I was hired on to be the general manager at Pro Audio Pro 4x4, and I spend 95% of my time at the sales counter, answering phone calls, helping clients in person, returning emails, just being a salesman, and trying to also do my other duties that I was, brought in for, which is, keeping POs correct, purchase orders correct, making sure inventory is good, making orders, receiving orders, getting everything checked in, managing people. It's a challenge. I have not overcome it, but I'm trying. Luckily, everybody there is just, self-motivated, and there's not a whole lot of people managing I have to do, but the paperwork aspect of it takes a toll. So I typically close the shop at 6. I am typically there until 6:30, 7 o'clock every night, trying to catch up on, purchase orders and inventory, or even just catching up from quotes for the day and making sure those get out to customers. I would have to say, or I would hope that this is how my coworker described me. Knowledgeable, fun, and dedicated. I'm very dedicated to the business. I've always been, when I'm working somewhere, the business becomes part of me. I want nothing more than to see the business succeed, and grow and get bigger. And in the last year that I've been there, we have definitely grown. We are very, very busy. I try to stay positive throughout the day, no matter if it's the craziest day, and we have some very crazy days. And I hope by doing that, by me staying positive, it reflects onto everybody else, all my teammates. And I hope that influences them to come together, as a team, which it does. And because we're already such a tight-knit team, it's just a matter of maintaining that positivity and communication. Sales technique and strategy. I guess that would be honesty. I'm just honest with every customer that comes in. Every client that walks through the door, I just try to be as honest as I possibly can. I don't I don't shoot for the moon on every single sale, because to me it's more about their experience in our shop to make sure that they come back, whether we do something and the sales close right then and there, or they come back the next day, or they call and we close it at a later date. I just want to make sure that I'm building a relationship that's long term. And we have our fair share of people that just walk in the door and, hey man, can I get a radio? Yeah, sure. What do you need? And go over some things and sell them a radio and a kit and harness and get it installed. But even that client, I'm still making sure I get to know them a little bit, so that there's a relationship being built, so that if they need anything else, they can come back better. So I don't necessarily have a technique, because when I think of technique, I think of a sales pitch or a scheme or something like that. And I'm not that person. I talk to you, I get to know you, and find out what you're after, what you're looking for, and I try to fit it into your budget. And that leads me into what I want my clients to remember me, or about me, is that I treated them fairly and I got to know them, and that we built a relationship, so that they will come back and they will tell their friends and they'll tell their coworkers, and their family. And we have a ton of that. Word of mouth referrals is how our business is built. We do not advertise. So it's just really cool to see somebody come in the door and, hey, my buddy so-and-so, told me to come down here because he said you guys are really easy to deal with. I love that. We get reviews about just our customer service all the time. So that's awesome. Things that would positively influence my performance. I mean, honestly, I learn something from every single client that walks in the door, as far as not necessarily about them. I mean, I learn that too, but I also, there's a lesson in every sale. There's a lesson in every interaction that you have. And I absorb it all, and then my brain goes kind of haywire at the end of the night, and I think about the previous day, and I go, okay, maybe I should have done this better, maybe I should have done that better. And it's funny because 9 times out of 10, I go into work the next day and there's an email or a phone call from the person that I talked to that I thought maybe I didn't handle quite right. And they're saying, hey, when can we get this scheduled? I think I should be considered for the top 20 sales professionals, because over the past few years, I've realized that this selling and talking to clients is kind of what I was born to do. I always thought I was an installer or fabricator, which I still am at heart, but I enjoy the interaction of dealing with clients. Selling the best possible experience to our clients is just, that's my goal, and that's what makes me happy. Whether they're just coming in and like kicking the tires, and checking prices or seeing what's going on, or they've come in and they've decided that we're going to do a full-blown audio system, and maybe even some 4x4 stuff, wheels and tires and lift kit, whatever it is. Both of those clients need to have a great experience, because even the guy that's coming in kicking tires, if I give him a price on something, hey man, how much is that radio? And I tell him, and he's like, okay, cool, thanks, and he walks out the door. I want to make sure that when he comes in, he's greeted properly. I always get their name, phone number, so I can get it entered into the system. So if we need to do a call back, we can. But it's also so that when they call us back or they come in the next time, I'm able to remember who it is, and continue growing that relationship. And I honestly think that that is what being a top 20 sales professional is. It's not about your numbers. Yeah, I mean, it's great that we close sales and we make money. That's our job, right? But the passion is like meeting people, talking to people, selling them that experience of your shop and what you have to offer. And that's, I think, the number one quality you need to have to be a top 20 sales professional. And I think I own that wholeheartedly. So thank you for your consideration.